Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It is yet another beautiful day. I was encouraging ladies to go an extra mile. Look decent, all right? Now, a quick one. There is a lady here who says, I tried to dress the dressing advice and a man literally stopped in the middle of the road to ask about me. One guy also turned twice to look at me. I simply wore a decent short with a t-shirt and sneakers with no makeup on, but looked very cute and did my hair so neatly. I was walking and I had a smiling and feminine look. Right? That is one lady giving us a confession. There is another lady here called as D. She says, I dressed so well today that my boss gifted me with a drink and chocolates. My other boss gifted me with jewelry. And I have received countless flying kisses from my colleagues, both male and females. Wow, Benjamin Zulu, the tips work and I felt like a queen today. All right? Believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, these are just a sample of feedback that are coming in. Now, I'll begin right from where D has actually left it, that she received attention both from men and from women. And that is exactly where today's show begins from. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, as you undergo that intentional transformation, as you rise to the next level, you are going to attract both singles and married. Okay? So today's show, Benjamin is going to tell you why you keep on attracting married men. You better look forward to this. Hey, Benjamin.
Hey, so can you start saying but that married men are also men?
Thank you.
And whatever attracts men on you will attract as well married men. Yeah. When they marry, their biology doesn't get switched off. It's not toned down. They are not injected with something. Please understand. What changes is our social situation. Our social situation is that now people of character are now committed elsewhere, but the emotions are still as active as they have ever been. All right. So number one, I want ladies to stop acting shocked why a married men hit on them. Some of them, they feel, they see the attraction, they respond, and some of them have no character, boundaries, and decency to respect themselves and their marriage, to respect the fact that they have nothing to offer you, to respect that they are committed elsewhere. And let's again say that they are married men who regret being married.
Yeah, that is true.
There's a lot of men who wish they were still single. Okay? So we have about 3 or 4 major reasons why you'll find a lot of married men hovering over you like vultures, you know, circling a carcass, looking for a way to get a part of the free meat. All right. In the wild, there is a way they communicate. When the first group of animals see the birds in the air, when they see a dying animal, they start circling. So the hyenas see the circling birds far away in the skies, but they know right down there is what? A dying animal that probably not yet dead, so the birds can't eat it. No. So the hyenas come to kill it. All right. There's also wild dogs who are in the same category, and they walk in packs. So out in the wild, people communicate when they see potential benefit. Now, let's say by saying that when you start turning on your charm, when your season for searching comes, when the season for moving to the next level comes, when the season comes for you to, now the project is your family, the project is marriage. We say turn on your charm. You observe all rules of decency. You're not indecent or wearing micro-mini. That's wildness. Now, the problem of wearing micro-mini or things that are outrageous is that you provoke perverts and sick people to project their sickness on you. Okay? Yeah. Some are barely containing themselves. Even women who are decently dressed, he is already drooling. Now, what about you now? Do as if you are provoking. They find it both disrespectful and as if you are trying to torment them when they are hardly containing themselves. We are not justifying the behavior of interfering in people's, but we are saying you as a woman of dignity, as a woman of respect, always observe decency in this life, so that you keep away from sick people. We said having high standards will protect you from low standard experiences. All right. If you want to protect yourself from primitive behavior, maintain high standards. All right? Yeah. High level of self-respect. When you respect yourself, people are likely to say, hey, madam, they're like, and you're not saying all people. You're saying generally there's some things you don't need to attract to yourself. There's a kind of attention I told you that is indecent, like wearing a trouser that is written right at the sitting area. Yeah. All these and brains too. So when you say these, what are these? So the guy can start a conversation from this, because you draw attention to it. Let's say you have a big chest and then you make it a billboard. A billboard with a huge provocative message saying something funny. What will happen? They'll think that's the conversation you want. Yeah. Right? Yeah. When you show your cleavage is like it's nearly bare and you walk over there, they think that's what you want. So they'll start talking to you in a very indecent manner, in a manner that is vulgar, because you are dressed in a vulgar manner. Maintain your decency so that you protect yourself from these primitive behaviors. So that when you are dressed nicely, the kind of niceness we are discussing here is very self-respecting. Romantic does not mean vulgar. All right? And a person you can go anywhere, to any office, to anything, because you're dressed very decently. But again, you're very attractive, you're shining in your charm. All right? Yeah. These are the kind of dressing which has been drummed up by the religious people, by the traditional people. It's neither good for you where they overdress. Too long, too big, too careless, too dull, not thoughtful. And I told you, an easy place to find the collection of these samples are not hard to find. You don't need to look too hard to see them. Look for where any young ladies of character are gathered. Yeah. Those who are aspiring wives. Okay? Look at how the aspiring wives are dressing and you see what society has told them. All right? Especially when they go to church. They overdo it. So that the person, you can't see anything that is ladylike. You can see a lot of spirituality, but you can't see any beauty. Many of them just put anything. In fact, we have this concept of Sunday best. So Sunday best is always something that is, and we're not saying we don't respect the house of God. We are saying you should have a standard of yourself that is both very creative and thoughtful, and also that which makes you shine. You never know where you meet the right people. They can see you in church several months and they find it irresistible. They can see you, when you are going to church. They're not in that church, but when you are going. Yes. Don't just dress for church. This is along the way also. Remind ladies who have cars and if you are dating and you have a car, be thoughtful. Don't let the car shelter you from the world. One thoughtful way is to always park it away so that you walk through the mall. Walk. That walk to the mall is important. The whole world is a stage. When the time comes for dating, take the whole world as a stage. You never know where you meet the right people. Yeah. So we have virtual and we have the physical. The physical is, so don't always park here, then you jump to the ATM, then back to the house. Literally, you have been closed in throughout. Yeah. A car becomes an enclosed place like your house. So you are closed in there. Occasionally be wise. So look for a way to mingle one-on-one with people, to be seen. All right? So we are saying, the first reason that you find a lot of married men on your case is because when you turn on your charm, it affects them. They find you very attractive. They find you very drawing. Those men who are self-respecting, they will respect your boundaries and they will just compliment you. Ladies should not respond badly to compliments. There's a difference between a compliment and disrespect. Disrespect is lustful and intrusive and unsolicited advances, that is what you block from far. And you will meet it everywhere. Can you prepare women that they'll be dealing with unwanted advances for the rest of their lives? Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Ask your grandma if you doubt it. As women grow, men are also growing. So at whatever age, you have your age mates who are after you. Okay? Yeah. So this kind of behavior as a woman is part of your battles. Men, we have our own battles. Many of them are internal, containing your urges, controlling your urges and controlling your eyes and controlling your passions. Women as well have a battle. There are some battles that are very prominent for every gender. For women is those unwanted advances from people who are not available for you. So the first reason men are drawn to you is they are more in number in terms of male proportion. We have the children, Then we have children who are not yet there. Young people who are not yet ready. Then we have the single people who are searching. And then you have the married people who are taken. Of those groups, the last group, the married, is the biggest in proportion. So statistically speaking, for any group of men, those men are more. Understand it, please. And stop complaining as if you don't understand a simple proportion of how society is constituted. All right? The married people are more for the same reason that in the car market, the cars that are already bought, that are already sold, that are not on sale, it's Brahma's car, somebody's car. Those cars that are on the road, majority are not on sale. It's a very simple thing.
Yeah.
The cars that are already sold are more. The houses that already have occupants are more than the vacant ones. The cars that are on sale are maybe in bazaars, in showrooms, occasionally see it on the road written on sale. So men that are not on sale, men that are already occupied, are the same way with the houses and cars. They are fewer. So don't complain as if you don't understand basic mathematics. Expect more to in every group of 10 men. You might find that the married are like 6 or 7. Then you have 2 who are single, perhaps 2 who are young, not yet ready. You get it? So the large proportion of men, perhaps 60% who are married, should comfort you that this is normal. I expect to interact. So you'll have a boss who is married. You'll have a colleague who is married. You'll have a pastor who is married. You'll have a man, among all the men you are in touch with, majority will be
married.
Normalize that so that you stop fighting it and living as if you are somehow cast. How come only single men married men hit on me? Because they are more in society. Are we together? The second reason, and so once you understand the statistics, now you don't complain about why they hit on you. You ask, over the last have I met 1 or 2 who are single? Let's tell them the same. We also meet ladies who are very kind, very sweet, attentive, but when you are just building your hopes, you suddenly see what? When she's talking. Can you also remind ladies to please put on a ring if you're married?
Thank you.
Ladies, please, we can't estimate your age. You know, men don't know women's age.
Yeah.
There are 2 things we don't know. The size of clothes, women's clothes, and their age. And I don't want you to put yourself on the spot. When a lady tells you to guess her age, always refuse. Brother, never fall for that trap. Guess. The guess might be very offensive.
Yeah.
Because you take the guess to say that's how she looks. All right? Yeah. If you're forced to guess, always guess very young. Very young. Please reduce it by 10 years. To be sure. If she looks 40, make it 28. That's a compliment. But never say 52. If she looks, if you're not sure. You know, sometimes men, especially if she has polished herself. You know, I saw the Queen talking at 93. The Queen of England.
Yes.
93. She's older than our mothers here at 65.
Yes.
93. That thing troubled me, man. I did not sleep. She mentioned she was appearing in Britain Got Talent. And she was doing the inaugurative speech. But she just made it fun, comedy, just a happy woman, you know, cracking them up, joking around. And she's the royalty. But she mentioned somewhere that in case you're wondering why a 93-year-old is always being paid for doing nothing, why giving your speech, you should also ask yourself why somebody like Simon is the judge. She's just joking. Yeah. But I said 93. 93. Our women here 93, can they talk? Can they walk? Can they make speeches? I arrived at a very startling conclusion because I really thought about it. I want you to do what Aristotle told us. He told us to make yourself an observer, a questioner, an investigator, and you get many questions before they become a crisis. If you develop an investigative mind, whenever you see something that doesn't add up, that shocks you, allow it to sit with you and trouble you, and it will teach you something. So how come the 93 Queen is looking so healthy, strong, when our mothers here at 60 are already becoming weak? I got one answer. The word struggle. Oh, brother. Struggle. Yeah. I arrived at the conclusion that the Queen is sheltered, protected. She's obviously a leader. I could see the leadership and ease, friendliness. But because of being born here, lined there, living this way, of course you can also be in that seat and you're very reckless. Yeah. you overdrink, you live careless life, poison your body, put toxins in your system. There's a part of being careful and living right. But I'm talking about now the cultures. Here we need to protect our women. We need to protect our women. Our mothers got so many children, and many of them carried the weight, the major part of the weight of raising them up.
Yeah.
All right. So I want us, our next generation, our daughters and our wives, Brahma. I realize how they struggle affects how they age. Many of our mothers struggled. It was hard. It was survival. There was no good food. There was no time for rest. There was no peace of mind, no love, no cherishing. I could see what the queen has received that our mothers are not receiving here. Let us make our women queens. Let us treat them as queens. Let us give them the privilege to feel loved. The queen knows she is treasured. So I said, because I've been trying to borrow that notion of queen, that notion of royalty, being a king in my own right, making your woman a queen, building an empire of your own. So I am very interested in that culture to understand it. I keep taking the countries that have maintained monarchy either for ceremonial purposes or part of their culture to see what I can borrow. One thing I borrowed is that these people, they try to eliminate stress. They try to live a healthy life because they rule for as long as they are alive. Because their tenure is equivalent to their life. They want to prolong it and rule right and live right and not spoil and ruin the chance, Yeah. That tells you now that if you have a career that you're doing, or if you have a mission, or you're a father or husband or lover or the loved one for life, it means you want to live right all that life. Are we together?
Yeah.
That's one thing it told me. One thing that warned me, and I said, I want to implement this in my life, is to say, if at 93 she can look 30 years younger, and we are not refusing that we are all growing old, it's to say you can maintain high amounts of energy, high amounts of health, high amounts of vitality, high amounts of being vibrant and bubbly. She looks so youthful, happy, easy. Age sometimes is about being melancholic, growing old, melancholic, serious, irritable. You can be fun. You can be easy. You can be, in fact, at whatever age, can you tell people to stop taking a back seat? You can still remain at the forefront of society, entertaining, joking with the people, making fun. That's what the queen is doing at 90. Now, that, of course, that show might have been a year or two back. So now you can imagine. But she's still forefront, happy, making us laugh, joking, connecting, excitable. Don't become serious and laid back. So understand statistically that men will hit on you more because they are more the married men. The second reason is that men will hit on you because you are unreachable. Please understand the lure of the taboo, the illegal, the forbidden, the unreachable. Because you are no longer available for him. That, have you seen where they write don't touch, wet paint? Now people touch.
Exactly.
They say Dosikojoy Hapa, that's why, Yeah. So the lure of the forbidden, the Garden of Eden had so many fruit trees, but only one that was out of reach. And that's what they went for. There's a human sinful tendency to want to do the forbidden. There's an excitement of a risk taker, an excitement of a thrill in running after what is wrong. So some people come after you simply because you are not, you are illegal. Sometimes you may wonder, his wife is more beautiful than me. But you have something she does not. You are not allowed. You are taboo. You are a sin. Okay? She could be better than you, but she is the food served on the table. Your bread eaten in secret. Okay? Women keep asking what that woman had better than me.
Yes.
Many men, it's because they simply wanted to defy. They had that urge to do what is wrong. And they did not check the quality of who they are doing the wrong with. Just because the person is across the border, across the what is allowed. So there are people who have that sensitivity to disobey. You, as a man, as a woman, you could also sometimes be attracted to the forbidden. The forbidden has a lure. All right? Has a lure of its own. If you study James, he studied a progression of where temptation comes from. Your desires, they create craving. Sin comes from that progression. You start imagining, then you crave, then you do it. So you try to imagine that person who is not yours is better, sweeter, more loving, more simply because They are forbidden. And second reason is because they are new. You're not used to them. Be careful with the monotony and the lure of trying a new thing. I warned people the other day to be careful not to date nomadic lovers.
Yeah.
People keep shifting from one lover to another. People are on the move because there are people who have a childlike restlessness and a constant desire for a new thing. Okay? So if you find yourself also drawn to what is forbidden, what is outside the limit, what is not right for you, if you find yourself drawn that way, the solution is to remind yourself that that is simply a lie and an exaggeration to make you lose what you have. And remind yourself that the other person can also experience the same draw, especially if there is strife or monotony or chaos in your family, in your marriage that time. And probably one of the taboos, one of the things I want you to avoid is your marriage or your love life settling into monotony. You must be very creative and study and be attentive. The reason our relationships die, our marriages lose fervor, they lose taste, is because we remove our minds from it and we expect it to drive itself. Yeah. Once you get married, get busy with work, get busy. No. So we come, it's like routine. You must break that by all means. Does not mean you don't have traditions, but those traditions should involve variety, going to new places, and thinking new thoughts and finding ways to be happy and excitable, looking for things that bring new energy and freshness. Even if those things involve money, you budget for it. Many couples budget for everything except their own love. Budget for the fees, for the rent, for the and then we leave out what we need to cultivate between us. Meals, what we need to eat a meal out. A place to pay and visit a place, a far away campsite or ranch or hotel or lakeside or something occasionally. And that's why I told you a car is a necessity, so you can ride somewhere, go and come. Please, can you refuse the normals in Africa that were being inspired by poverty so that people are locked in one small place and that looks like life? Yeah. Please, first world doesn't live like that. Every now and then expose yourself to the life in Dubai, to the life in America, study the documentaries, study to see how normal life should look like. Please. In Africa, abnormal is normal.
Normal.
Yeah. Please, it's like we were bathed in a bottle. And the congestion looks normal. This is what we are used to. Hi. Do you know you can't change what you don't hate? You must dislike it enough to spend energy to get out of it. Okay? Let's also remind some of the Africans that some of them feel a lure of the exotic. They think that if they go to Britain, they'll be happier. Let me remind you that somebody told me that tell those guys who want to come to America to think twice or thrice, or even 20 times. Because he told me even when you have a degree here, you come here and you're treated like semi-literate. And you have a degree from your home. Yes. Because they think your degree is also that world. Sometimes they give you other exams, other tests, other whatever, to give you the same job. You studied law here, you go for law there, then no, maybe law can be specific. Let's take another course that could be engineering. That is not even affected so much by the law of the country, it's just engineering. But it's like they treat like you studied in a law university, the country, those kind of things. So he told me, sometimes you need to, it's okay to pursue your goals where you want, but remind yourself that what we have in Africa, it's despised, and many times it's low class. I'm not saying we have low self-esteem. I'm saying don't allow what has been normalized here, like couples living in a very small space, like us, just living on survival, on food and school fees. That's why love died. The chemistry died among many of the marriages of our parents. It was just like pushing life, pushing. Sukuma wiki. We even institutionalized the names. We call our vegetables pushing the week. It's like you're pushing it, man. You're enduring life. And that was a daily meal. Push it. Try to get by. Just try to do. So sometimes it's because men know you're forbidden. The third reason is because you are better than other side chicks. They are getting the market. Now let me explain this. Right. One problem I'm having with women of quality, they don't know their quality. Let me repeat that. Some of them think ignoring your qualities is humility. I don't know who told them that. They think forgetting how special they are is somehow humility. Yes. Humility does not mean thinking less of yourself. It simply means thinking of yourself less. Okay, some philosophy there. Let me expound it. Does not mean thinking diminishing of who you are. It just means don't be preoccupied with yourself, but be aware of who you are. Only don't be preoccupied. Don't think less of yourself, only think of yourself less. That is to say, think of others, your job, your career, your place in life, but you are aware at the backdrop what you deserve. And you're not negotiating on it. You know, a narcissist, a proud person, if they're always talking about themselves, thinking about that, they forget other people, forget their job, forget their God, forget their place. All right? You many of these ladies, especially if you are a mature woman, 25 and above, some of them are 30, 29, you look ripe for marriage, but you're not yet married. Because you have no man in your life, you look like you're available. And because you look mature, self-contained, let me contrast you. These are the girls that are easy to get for these men. University kids, the 23-year-olds. Yeah. These kids are needy, unstable, immature, chaotic, psycho. He will get a side chick, but at a very high cost. Those kids are high maintenance. It's a guzzler car. Every time you see our men assisted her with school fees, and later she went on with her boyfriend. Those girls need fees. Some of them have needy situations. Those girls, they need money for everything, from innerwear to outerwear. Those girls need fare to go everywhere. They need money to print. Can you imagine having to send money to photocopy? Assignment. Those girls need money for rent. They need money to repair their shoe. Not now to buy, apart from buying, to repair. Those girls, when you look at the kind of things they need, money for salon, money to go home, money to pay exam for the brother. Yeah? So let me contrast these women who is their, so to speak, who you're being compared with. So this guy has had a side chick catcher, and he has another side chick who is always making calls and demands. Then she's emotionally unstable, very impatient. She gets angry when the man does not respond quickly. And she does not know when not to call. She can start crying at night and calling quickly. And the man is with his family. So the girls, these married men who are hitting on you, I'm explaining the black market to these women to understand why they are on demand. Okay? I'm explaining the dynamics of the black market. Remember that? The other day I told you the dynamics of witchcraft. Wow. We're doing witchcraft 101. So today we are doing black market 101. When I was shopping for cars, one guy told me there was a car I was considering. He told me it has been the most popular in the black market. It is the most stolen. Because it sells very fast. A thief wants quick money to avoid being caught with the thing they stole. So they buy what they can sell within hours. Okay? Yes. So it told me, think about that. You need more security for that car because it's on high demand in the black market. So these women of ours who are mature, they're on high demand in the okay? So they have been wondering why they're on demand in the black market. Married men, just cons. It's because the alternative in the black market is too expensive. Please, follow this. The alternative, the kids who are needy in the university, they're also very chaotic and they behave like terrorists. They have nothing to lose. They can blow the man up. They can blow him up, announce him everywhere. Put on Sasha, Brahman, I want you to keep a record. Which girls are exposing men on online? It's that group. Yes. It's that group. They have nothing to lose. Wearing a crop top and something is outside. And a crop top. Yeah, this guy actually came here. He did this. Yeah, I have the photos. It is those things. So remember now, men have to deal with those who have no reputation, no money, no business, nothing to safeguard. So if they want to blow you, they blow up together, all of you. That's the problem with the terrorist. They can blow you and them together because they have nothing to lose. I told you the other day that when there's a man, you get into the black market of side chicks. And in another life, a respectable man. you're risking everything. Because the one you're trading with has nothing to lose. Should you not agree to their terms, they can simply hold a grenade. That's you. Money or okay. These young university kids are suicide bombers. They can die with you. If they can't have you, nobody else will have you. So the problem we have in that other market is that men have been whipped and ran in circles, and they have been forced to do weird things. To put out fires. So he will carry the girl in his car and the girl leaves her porch there. She forgets. Yes. They're very forgetful. Just children. Put 25. Just children. I mean, the starter brain just. They're panicky. Something happens. Panicky, crying. Crisis of a mosquito. Yes. You know? So when this guy finds a lady who is so single but self-contained, living her life, doesn't need anybody's money, very listening, stable, won't call you at odd hours, won't bomb you, because she has a life to protect. So he imagines you will be a prize side chick. So, listen. They told me when these guys steal cars, they can steal an old car, but an old car, even if they slaughter is making it into parts. Yes. Instead of selling it as a whole animal, you slaughter it to hide it fully. No, you can't, number plate, you can't see anything, it's not on the road. So, but they said, if you can get a new one, the parts will move faster. Because they can sell the new parts to those guys who are selling new parts. You know, a car door does not have an identity. Yeah. They can sell the door alone, they can sell parts alone. So they told me, the newer the car, the better the car, the higher the value in the black market. Now be careful as a woman, because you're fresh, you're new, you're prime. You look like a low-hanging fruit. Because you are not married. It's only your dignity as a woman that protects you. Let's emphasize this and then go to the last point that you bring your questions. Listen to me, young women and young ladies who are already searching in the market. You are the hot cake in the black market because you are self-contained, you're not needy, you're mature, you live a peaceful life, you look happy. So if he got you, he would have an easy way while giving you nothing and getting your prime fruits. Just moments ago, a lady was telling me I'm 34, being in this relationship for 5 years. I felt like vomiting. Can you tell women who have reached maturity, 26, 27, 29, 30, there is no point of dating for years or being a side chick or got a kid to this one. This one I came to realize is a cheat, serial cheat. Came to realize is this, and the other one came to realize is this. No. When you are at the prime of your, maintain boundaries. Only interact with those who have promise. Those who seem serious. Some will fake. You must see through it. Yeah. It's your, and the reason we are teaching them every day is to save them. Now, from 29 to that 4, wasted 5 years on only a man who is a serial cheat. Already a kid with him. Respect yourself. Keep sex for marriage. You'll avoid a lot of cons if you keep sex for marriage. The last reason this man might be after you is because yourself, you have a father hunger. You have a yawning emotional needs. Can you imagine an emotional need that is yawning? Glaring. You lap every compliment, whether it is sincere or insincere. Can you tell women, especially those who brought up their family? Let me bring you another twisted psychology in Africa. Yeah. Our abnormality is manifested when the one kid, one of the older siblings becomes a parent. Yes. So there are ladies who brought up their sisters and brothers, and they have never been loved. They are always been the one giving. Yes. They even feel abnormal when you give them something. It feels very wrong. Very wrong. To give her something, she feels like no. But when she's giving, she's okay now, giving. So here comes a guy who simply gives her attention, attends to her something, fixes a problem for her, fixes the car for her, helps her with this, and she begins to feel special in a way she has never felt. tell women to pay attention to their own pre-existing needs and solve them because they will attract you. Many of them say, I don't know how I got involved with him. I found I lost it. I found I got overwhelmed. It's because it picked on a need you are unconscious about. Be careful. Study yourself. The mirror. You need a psychological mirror, not just physical mirror. You need psychological mirrors. Can you tell our women to invest in therapists?
Yeah.
The reason we do this work every day, Bramwell, is to tell them that it's okay to go have these conversations with a counselor. This is what we do in our counseling and our life coaching.
Yeah.
Counseling is about psychological, like the gaps and the emotion, and we do it. But life coaching is about planning your life overall, your potential, your goals in life, what you want with your life, what you stand, where you are. So life coach is simply the global, the aspect of, planning your whole life and your bigger goals. Psychological counseling is mainly about maybe the psychological pain or the psychological stress you have, or anxiety or depression. It's wide, of course, but life coaching, we take more the angle of proactive. So even when you come, it's a crisis that brought you here, I'll take it further to what did you want overall in your life? Yes.
All right. I like the way Benjamin, especially the black market. Thank you for bringing that out.
Yeah.
And I've really now understood the psychological part of it. Now, Benjamin, you'll understand that the way you've put it, this category of women are talking about they're ripe, all right?
Exactly.
They're that hanging fruit.
Exactly.
But now, some of them are hanging in a very weird environment that is comprised of purely married men. Maybe some of them, just by the way they dress, married people gravitate towards them, you see, just by looking at the appearance of them. You'll realize that even in the jungle, the wild animals know how to sense fear. And that is the strategy they use to attack you.
Exactly.
You see, I just learned the other day, Benjamin, that if a lion attacks you, sometimes just to stand and stare directly into its eyes rather than disappearing, because it can stare into your eyes and sense fear. And that is how it attacks you. Now, the same psychology also goes to men. Men can look into you and sense whether you are available or not. Could it be that some of them is by the way they position themselves?
Have you noticed if you go to these camps where there are wild animals or reservations, so wild animal reservations, you are given an escort.
Yes.
And in many places you're given the escort of a Maasai guy who has nothing except a rungu, a stick.
Yes.
That's the guy guarding you.
Imagine.
No, wait for escort. And when the escort arrives, he is using fearlessness. He has mastered animal psychology. He knows which ones will be fierce, and he knows. They can even tell which lion, male, female, which one is a boy, which one is mature, which one. All right? So that psychology of people can sense your neediness, your lack of self-respect. People can sense it and try to exploit it. If you're not addressing your psychological problems, other people will address them.
Thank you.
If you don't, by the time you come, you'll have been so exploited through that opening gap. The cost is too high. Let's close by reminding these women, do not reduce your appearance or stop dressing right or living your life. Simply strengthen your boundaries. Sense from far a person who sees you in a lustful manner. Draw the boundaries. And finally, whatever is out of control, so that you find yourself overthinking about a person because they carried you in their car or attended you, that shows you have an unmet need. That needs you to see a life coach, a therapist, instead of waiting for it to be exploited by those kind of jackals.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Normalize visiting life coaches so that can straighten your life. Remember all the time, ladies and gentlemen, that bees and houseflies, both of them have the potential to fly. But the question is, do they fly in the same direction? Think about it. Thank you for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show.